Yo, what is up, my friends? Welcome back into the podcast. Yet another episode of Crushing Fantasy Football. I am Bryce Lockridge, your host of the show, guys. Today, I'm going to be giving you my league-winning running backs. That's right. I'm talking to you about players that are going to win you your league this fantasy season at the running back position. And I'm going to get right into it, guys. But real quick, if you have not already, go down and hit that subscribe button below. Drop me a like if you enjoy the content today. These things are essential for me growing my channel so I can continue to give you content throughout the season and off season. All right, guys, I'm going to get right into it, but real quick, just to let you know, I'm not going to be giving you obvious information like telling you that Jonathan Taylor is a freaking league-winning running back. We all know this. That's obvious information, and I am not here to waste your time. I'm here to talk to you about players that you might be kind of on the fence about and why I have very good reason to believe that they are going to be a league winner for this fantasy football season at the running back position. And let me start with the first player on my list, and that is Tony Pollard. Okay, guys, there are many reasons why Tony Pollard is about to be an absolute fantasy monster. The main reason being the dude is freaking extremely talented. He plays on a team with a great offensive line that puts up a lot of points. And the guy running in front of him, Ezekiel Elliott, just has a lot of tread on the tires at this point in his career. Since coming into the league in 2016, this dude has been one of the biggest workhorse backs in all of the NFL, and he's had a lot of carries in the 5 seasons that he's been in the league. And the fact of the matter is, he's just not the running back that he used to be. It's pretty obvious at this point that Tony Pollard is the more talented and more explosive running back. On top of that, Zeke is dealing with lower body injuries, including a knee injury, that are very concerning right now. I don't even know if he's going to make it through the rest of the fantasy regular season without having to miss some significant time. If this does indeed happen, Tony Pollard is absolutely going to go off, guys. I'm telling you, if this dude gets to step into the workhorse role and doesn't have Zeke running in front of him, this is a top 5, maybe even a top 1 or 2 running back in fantasy football. This guy is very explosive. He plays on a high-scoring offense. If he gets to be the lead workhorse role, he's going to be extremely dangerous for fantasy football. So if you do have Tony Pollard on your roster, he already has standalone value at the flex position, and he has enormous upside if Zeke ends up going down and missing time. It's not really a matter of if, but a matter of when Tony Pollard takes over the lead workhorse role. We can see it as early as the fantasy playoffs this year, as late as maybe late in the season next year. But he is about to step in sometime in the near future as the lead back for the Cowboys, and he's going to be awesome for fantasy when he does. Next on my list is going to be the Cardinals running backs, both James Conner and Chase Edmonds. And the reason I am putting them both on this list is because if one of them plays and the other doesn't play, they're extremely valuable for fantasy. I mean, we've already seen it with James Conner. This dude gets in the end zone like crazy and produces awesome fantasy numbers when he is the lead workhorse back. If he happens to be out and Chase Edmonds is the lead back for the team, I don't think he has quite the upside that James Conner does because he's probably not going to get as many carries, but he is technically still more of the pass-catching running back for the team, so his volume in the passing game should make up for his lack of running opportunities, so he has tremendous upside if he's the lead back as well. So if either one of these backs is playing as the lead back for the team because the other running back is hurt, they hold immense fantasy value. If they're both starting, they're still very good flex options due to their upside, and James Conner is certainly a running back 2, even if Chase Edmonds plays, but they're both running back 1 options if the other is out due to an injury. So it's very good if you have these guys on your team because they have tremendous upside for the fantasy playoffs, and either one of them or both of them could end up being league-winning players. Next on my list is going to be Michael Carter Jr., guys. This is a very talented young running back for the Jets. The Jets are a very unpredictable team just because they're so bad, and we don't know how they're going to look on a week-to-week basis. But the fact of the matter is, when Michael Carter Jr. has been healthy, he has been very, very good. We've seen him emerge as one of the best dual-threat running backs in the entire NFL. I mean, this dude is a great pass-catching running back. When he's actually healthy, he's getting healthy rushing volume as well. So the volume is there. For PPR formats, he's really good because the dude catches a lot of passes. And this dude has tremendous weekly upside and could be a definite league winner for the fantasy playoffs. If you have Michael Carter on your team and he is activated this week, which I'm pretty sure that he's going to be, you need to have this dude in your lineup. Do not consider having this guy on your bench. You could definitely play him as a flex, or a low-end running back too, but this dude has tremendous upside and could be a league winner for the fantasy playoffs. Next on my list is going to be Javante Williams, guys. This one might be a little bit too obvious at this point, but I got to give credit where credit is due. This guy is extremely explosive, and I think that in the fantasy drafts next year, this dude might be like a top 5, maybe a top 8 pick overall in the entire fantasy draft, because we've seen that this dude has true running back one upside. So we know how good he is from a sheer talent standpoint. Melvin Gordon is a little bit older now, so Javante Williams is definitely going to be the lead back on the team next year. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But as soon as this year's fantasy playoffs, I think this dude could be an absolutely dominant fantasy weapon, even if he's splitting the workload with Melvin Gordon. His immense talent and the fact that his offense is starting to put up more points on a week-to-week basis gives him tremendous weekly upside. On top of that, Melvin Gordon's dealing with some injuries right now, so if Melvin Gordon does go down and Javonte Williams is the lead workhorse back, this guy is one of the biggest weapons in all of fantasy football. So this dude absolutely can't be on your bench for the rest of the season. Even if Melvin Gordon is healthy, you're playing Javonte Williams. If Melvin Gordon goes down, this guy is most likely the best running back on your entire roster. Next on my list is going to be both Browns backup running backs, Kareem Hunt and D'Ernest Johnson. Obviously, it looks like Kareem Hunt is going to be sitting out this week, but he has a pretty favorable fantasy playoff schedule going forward. So if he comes back and is available for the second, third, and fourth weeks of the fantasy playoffs, he could be one of the biggest league-winning running backs in all of fantasy football. If he does not come back and D'Ernest Johnson is the backup running back for the team, getting carries behind Nick Chubb, I think that D'Ernest Johnson could be a league-winning running back because we know how good this Browns rushing attack is, and even the backup running back on the team behind Nick Chubb usually produces really good fantasy numbers. So, if Kareem Hunt is out, fire up D'Ernest Johnson. If Kareem Hunt does indeed play weeks 2, 3, and 4, due to his talent, due to the overall efficiency of the offense, and due to it being Kareem Hunt, one of the best running backs in the entire NFL from a sheer talent standpoint, running back had a great offensive line, a team that scores a lot of points. This dude has massive league-winning upside if he's able to come back and be healthy for the final weeks of the season. Next on my list is going to be Sony Michelle. We've seen it when Darrell Henderson is out, guys. This guy is awesome for fantasy football. He's had 20-plus carries in the past 2 weeks. He plays on a very, very high-scoring Rams offense, thus giving him awesome touchdown upside on a week-to-week basis as long as Darrell Henderson is not in the lineup. And it looks like these things can happen. I mean, Darrell Henderson's dealing with a concussion and a thigh and, all kinds of different issues. If Darrell Henderson continues to miss time, Sony Michelle is an absolutely dominant fantasy weapon going forward. Next on my list, final player is going to be Alexander Madison. Now, obviously, he's banged up right now and is not going to play he's not banged up. He's on the COVID list, so he's not playing this next week. And Dalvin Cook is playing, but guys, we know how injury-prone Dalvin Cook is, and we know how good Alexander Madison is when he steps in to replace Dalvin Cook. So if Dalvin Cook happens to go down with an injury like he does very, very often, especially late in the season, Alexander Madison, if he only plays 1 week out of the final weeks of the fantasy football playoffs and the final weeks of the fantasy season, if he only plays 1 week, he can give you such a big performance coming in for Dalvin Cook that he is a league-winning player. And there's always a chance that he plays multiple weeks going forward due to Dalvin Cook's serious ability to be injury-prone and miss time, especially late in the season. So keep Alexander Madison on your roster, guys. Do not drop this guy. He's the ultimate handcuff for fantasy football. And if Dalvin Cook misses time, this could be one of the biggest league-winning players in the entire NFL. All right, guys, I appreciate you tuning into the video today. Hope this video helped, and I will catch you guys later.